2023. You're on the internet. You make content. You make podcasts. You started with like the Jackass stuff. You guys created like a wave of pranksters, essentially. That like I grew up. I was a little kid, literally watching your. Like I watched all the Jackass. I mean, it was like everyone, any boy ever talked about this stuff at all.
How come she's shaking like that?
I don't know. She was probably hyped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let her out. Let her out. So. You guys like created this wave, right? And nowadays, I don't know if what you've seen or if you watch people, but like people are taking like the prank thing, like specifically like TikTokers and like this like interview sequence type stuff to like a crazy level of.
Yeah, I think that
like people are like hitting people. Like I saw some guy in Texas like just swung on someone and was like, "Oh, it's a prank." It's like, no, you just like assaulted someone.
Right.
So what's your take on like how people push? Because nowadays to get noticed, you have to keep pushing the envelope, and it's gotten so far, and there's so many people doing it that like, what's your opinion on that now, knowing where you came from?
I haven't had like any of that stuff come through my feed, you know, so like I'm not super aware of it, but I'll say this, that I think of Jackass as something that's genuinely wholesome. And I know that that's counterintuitive because we're like hurting ourselves real bad. Like we're like, you know, being like super gnarly and crazy. But at the same time, like for all the terrible things that we put ourselves and each other through, like we want these things to be happening. So like, it's okay. Like we sign up for that stuff to happen. And because we want it to happen, that makes it okay for the viewer to enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
We're willing participants. But when it comes to third party people, on Jackass, we have like profound respect for third party. There's nothing like malicious or mean-spirited. We never target anybody to make them feel bad. We always have the joke is on us.
Yeah.
And that's like the most important thing, you know, and that's why I think Jackass is so wholesome, because the spirit of it is positive. We don't want anybody to feel bad. We want them to feel good about us feeling bad, but we're fine with it. It's okay. So anything where, you know, YouTube pranksters, like, I think a lot of the time they're just missing the point, and they're actually letting the spirit of their content be mean or malicious. You know, like I just think that it's really, really important when you're creating content to ask yourself, what is the spirit of what I'm doing? And you know, am I being mean to people? You know, you don't want to be mean to people.
Yeah, because it's different. It's just so different nowadays because people like compete to get the next thing, like the crazier thing,
Right. Yeah.
And like now, since it's like everyone, you know, has seen an opportunity on whether it be like TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, that people really push the envelope where it's like, I think they miss that a lot. They lose that because the joke's not on them. Like the joke will be on like a bystander that's innocent.
I've actually been guilty of that myself, you know, and I'll fully own up to it. And like what's crazy too is that where I've been guilty of you know, targeting people in a way that wasn't like a positive spirit, like those videos were wildly successful. You know, I had one called, I mean, I never did anything that bad, but I had one called I
just find, I mean, in the sense of, I find it interesting that people like to see that sort of like negative shit on other people.
Right. I had one, it was called the Golden Shower Prank. And in the middle of the summer down in San Diego, I went to like a super crowded beach with what's called a Whizzinator. It's like it's like a fake that you'll buy at the smoke shop. It's so that you can put like, you know, clean urine into it, and then you go in to take a test. It'll even have a thing to warm up. So that the urine's the right temperature, and you can.
That's to beat test.
To beat drug tests, yeah. So, but it's like very realistic, you know, fake.
In case someone's watching you.
Right. Yeah. And they will be. So I got that. I got the Whizzinator, and I went out to the beach. I just put just clean water in the Whizzinator, but like with a hidden camera. I went up to people who were
Tanning.
tanning, laying out on the beach, and I pulled out my Whizzinator and squirted just water out of it, like onto people, and onto
Fuck, no.
like onto
That's
dudes,
fun.
like onto dudes, and they they feel the water, they feel that they're like face down, whatever. They feel the water, and then they look up, and it's like they got a guy with the wing out, like peeing on them. They freak out, but like 90% of the people, they looked up and they were like initially like really like shocked, and then they go, Steve-O?
Yeah.
So it was like kind of okay. And then at the end, I did it on like a guy that was like not much smaller than you, like a big old dude.
Did he try to fuck you up?
He was ready to absolutely, he's like, take off your glasses. And then he goes,
Did you take them off?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then he goes, take off your shirt. And then he's like, and then he saw the tattoo on my back. He goes, dude, I almost killed you.
You have that all on camera?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel.
So like, where? Because I know because I've
Wait, yeah, and I'm sorry for cutting you off
Go
there,
ahead.
but Knoxville, I showed that to him, and he was like, "Man, the spirit of this isn't right,"
I
and
see.
I put it up anyway. But like, there was one guy who did take it badly, and it wasn't like. I think I put him in the video too. Like,
Yeah.
there was one guy that just like didn't react well, and I put it in there. And then like as another example of where I would acknowledge that I came up short is just like the body on the ground prank, where like I poured fake blood like all over myself and just went face down on the concrete, like on the sidewalk, and like. People come by and we get their reaction to like this body covered in blood face down on the sidewalk. They pull out their phone and then like somebody comes running over like, hey, this isn't real. Like, don't call 911. We just wanted to get your reaction,
that one's tough.
That one's really tough. And it's like top 5.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah, and at the end of it, like like there's a cop in my like banging on my hotel room door, and he goes, dude, like if you want to do this, man, maybe give us a heads up. But we got 3 fire trucks out there. We got like so I'm not proud of that, dude.
Yeah, I see.
I'm like pretty bummed on that. Like anytime that I've wasted like emergency responder.
Yeah, that sucks.
City resources for tying up emergency responders. Like I am distinctly not proud of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.